What's going on, guys? Marik here, and I just want to sit and talk for a few minutes about streaming. Now, if you guys don't watch live streams and you just come to the channel for our video content, then this kind of pertains to you a little bit. So I would stick around at least enough to hear part of what we have to say. So I'll start off by saying that streams are erratic for us. We try to do it as often as we can because it's also when I want to make content. Years ago when I started this, I used to do them separately. It was making video content, and then it was live streaming. And the live stream stuff would still be turned into videos that would then get uploaded on YouTube, but they were exclusive. There was nothing that was planned as a live stream to be a YouTube series and vice versa. But it kind of dawned on me at one point that I like streaming and I like the interaction with viewers, but also that there really wasn't much point in them being separate, if that makes sense. There are certain things that I like doing so much editing to that it doesn't work for it to be a live stream. But for the most part, everything else I can live stream and then take it and then, cut it into shorter, more consumable videos and then re-upload them to the channel. And I kind of thought of it as if I'm already playing the game, why not just stream it? Especially because I can either set my software up to also record a file while I'm streaming, which my PC doesn't really like, or I don't think it did, which is why I stopped doing it for a while. But since I'm streaming anyways, I can go and download the VOD and then edit it and still do my shit. And so it works out the same way that it seemed like we were dividing our time up between when to record something and when to stream something, when they're not really that exclusive. Not the way I used to do things. They really can be done exactly the same way. I'm already playing it, and it's technically being recorded, whether I'm streaming it to Twitch or to YouTube, so why not just stream it anyways? I've still got the footage, and then right there. Again, outside of certain things where I have a lot of editing that I want to do, and there are some things, like we do Battle Buddies, and we do Lasso, and then, I go through and I merge both footage, and I've got the overlays, and, to make it a little more unique, visually appealing, or at least I think it's visually appealing, and stuff like that. We do still stream the actual footage, but I have to do that because I also have to get his footage as well. Whereas, like, if I do Pokemon, for example, we're doing Pokemon Blue, but I've already took the necessary steps ahead of time with Pokemon Blue to where I can make the editing changes live without disrupting the flow of the video or the flow of the stream. Whereas a lot of times with Nuzlocke and stuff, because they're so unpredictable, that's not possible to do. But for the most part, everything that I do can be streamed that can be recorded. So I've been thinking for a while of doing just that, and for the most part I have. Outside of, say, a video like this, obviously there's no point in streaming it, and I'll ramble and have to cut out a bunch of shit anyways. What it comes down to, though, is stream times. Stream times and stream content. So let's start with stream content first. There's casual and competitive. And that's the two categories I'm going with. So my casual stream category would be like shiny hunting, playing the Pokemon DLC, which we still have the other area that comes out in December to play. Pretty much any campaign game, any story that we're playing, anything we can pause. Because during the day, things are a little more hectic. I've got more things to do. Schedules and stuff are different. So streaming during the day has to be a thing where I can just kind of hit pause, mute my mic, and if I need to walk away for a minute, I can walk away for a minute. I can't do that with what I'm calling the competitive category. Halo, whether it's MCC, whether it's Halo Infinite, Star Wars Battlefront, Gundam Evolution, anything that's a competitive game that I'm playing online that you just can't pause. You know, those games where moms are like, just pause the game. I can't, Mom. Those games. The I can't, Mom games. Those games, I want to... Well, okay, let's go back to the beginning. So, casual, competitive. The casual games, I can do whatever. I can pause whenever. So I can play them during the day. I can also play them at night. I can play them, whenever. The competitive games, I can't play if I have to pause it. So, to accommodate for that, especially because not so much that I'm super hyper competitive. I'm super competitive to a point, but there is a limit. There is a line. And I know some of you guys that have watched Battle Buddies are like, really? I don't know, because you and Jay Serious, yes. But I mean, that's between the two of us. Do I think I'm the best Halo player? Absolutely not. I'm not even as good as I used to be back in the Halo 3 days. But it doesn't mean that I want to sacrifice my numbers or my chance at having the most kills or having the best KD or in Battlefront, getting the most points. Or even just the difference between winning and losing because I was AFK for a minute. So that kind of limits my playtime for those kind of games to either the evening, say, we'll call evening between 5 and 9, or late night, which is more like between 11 p.m. and 2 to 3, maybe even 4 a.m. Now, these are Eastern times, by the way, just to clarify that. United States Eastern times. When it comes to streams with other people, like when we stream Battle Buddies, when we stream Lasso, when we stream Battlefront with Jay Serious, or even when we stream Battle Buddies with his brother like we did the other day, those kind of fall into a time frame of when is everybody available, because it's hard to fit a schedule. It's hard to make a schedule without knowing everybody's individual availabilities. So that last stream, we're supposed to start it at 7 Eastern, and then it got pushed back to 8. And then Jay Serious and I started, and then his brother came in a little later, and that was just kind of a thing of sometimes those times change. It just depends. It depends on the day. It depends on what's happening that day. So some streams are going to just be whenever. And that's why I don't like having a stream schedule, so to speak, because I tried that for a bit, and it works, but it doesn't work. And we're going to have one, but it's going to be a little bit loose because I don't know when. Like, when he asked me to play, he was like, hey, yo, so my brother sent me a text, he wants to play, blah, 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 and it's like, all right, yo, that's cool, but it was literally a couple hours beforehand, so I didn't really know. I had no way to plan for it, for the most part. So those kind of streams will be just, if they happen, they happen, and it'll take place of whatever was supposed to happen during that day, but the time that those happen is also subject to change as well. But that's the main exception for something like that. And there's more planning with those kind of streams as well. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what works best, not only for myself, but what works best for you viewers. Because there's different stuff that people enjoy watching. And I hate it because, so Star Wars Battlefront feels like it did better late, but also feels like it did better late. Like, I streamed until 5 or 5:30 one morning, and I had, almost a dozen people in the chat, and I'm sure some of them were over in Europe or not in the United States, and I had these people that were asking me to keep playing, and it's like I got to get some sleep. I got to be somewhat of a responsible adult in 5 or so hours. So I don't know what works best for who or which kind of content. And it kind of comes down to, again, the 2 different gaming categories, and then also the 3 different time availabilities. So I'll probably do a poll in the community tab, and you guys are free to vote on that. You can comment on it. You can comment on this video. I'd prefer you do it over there. I mean, either way. Either way doesn't really matter because I'm going to see it regardless. But or do it on both places, just so that as many people that need to see it can. Some people may not watch this video. They may just see the poll and just vote on it. So it comes down to, what kind of content do you want to see, and when do you want to see it? Ideally, I would say 12 to 3. I'd say 12 to 3 / 12 to 4 would be your afternoon slot. And that, again, that has to be the casual stuff. So whether it's like like currently our Pokemon Blue Run, Shiny Hunting, Nuzlocke, any story-based game, because we're going to do some more story games. Resident Evil can be played during that time. Any of those kind of games. And we can do those games during, a 6 to 9 or 6 to 10 block. And we can also do those games late at night. I don't want to do those games late at night just because I know that competitive game only has, like I said, it's can only play it with no distractions, basically. So the 11 to 3 or 4 works better for that. If you want to see that kind of content, either in the afternoon or the evening slot, just let me know, and I'll see what I can work out for it. Things are a lot different than when we used to stream before. It's like 10 minutes into this video, and we're still going back to how things used to be. But, so I used to stream regularly, pre-pandemic days. And I would stream from like 9 to 12, or 9 to 1, 7 days a week, almost. And we had a schedule. This Monday, this Tuesday, this Wednesday, etc. And this was back on Twitch too. And we were getting 20-something viewers a night. Like, our streams were popping. We were having a good time. And then pandemic shit happened, and the whole world went to shit, and so did everything else for us. So now, and I guess we'll address that too, because we had to take a hiatus because of the pandemic and all the other chaos that happened in 2020, we lost a lot of our viewer base. And they never came back. Or some of them did, but most of them did not. Especially for live streams. And so we did get our affiliate status back with Twitch, but Twitch wasn't feeling the same. We were getting people here and there, but not like we were. And it didn't feel like there was any benefit to Twitch versus YouTube. Literally the only benefit I can think of was the fact that we could download our streams right away. We didn't have to wait like we do with YouTube, which isn't the worst thing, but I just tried to do it right after so I don't forget. But other than that, that's more of just a me issue than it is either of those platforms and a streaming issue. And YouTube, I guess, in theory, should work better since I have a bigger audience. We've only got like 100 or so followers on Twitch, and then we've got, 1,500 subs here. We're kind of climbing back to where we were, but, we've still got to get back. I mean, we were almost at 2,000 subs at one point, again, pre-pandemic, and we lost some of those because we stopped doing certain content too, which is okay. But the biggest thing is just trying to figure out when certain streams work best, and even what kind of content. Not even just like, you can say, I like the casual stuff during this time. If you want to see something specific, you can mention that specific thing and the time slot. And I mean, I can't accommodate everything. I can't accommodate every person and their preferences, but kind of. If you're like, well, 6:58 and 28 seconds, okay, so 7 o'clock. you know. But I feel like we're rambling. This is already a 15-minute video at this point. So I kind of feel like I've made my point. I want to get to where I'm doing multiple streams a day. I can't say for how long the daytime streams will be. I can't say when they'll be, or even what they'll be. But there will be options, and I may even I'll make the poll the way it is, and I may even put the first comment I'll put on there. I'll be like, hey, these are all the things I'm looking at. These are all the options I'm considering doing. But for the most part, everything is going to be streamed, and then it'll be cut up, edited into the content that we normally upload for you guys to see, with the exception of some things, like some of the discussion videos, like the one we did recently on Balin and Abeloth and stuff. Obviously, those can't be streamed, but pretty much everything else is going to be, and hopefully we'll get to where we are a little more consistent with those streams to kind of keep uploads going. I know some days I don't have something, either because I didn't have time to edit it or, whatever. And this, you would think that this would make it more difficult, but in hindsight, I guess it sort of does, but at the same time, it doesn't. Yes, we're still rambling 2 minutes later, but I want to clarify this. More content to edit doesn't hurt my ability to do so. It's the specific things that require more editing. And, as always, Battle Buddies, Lasso, it's the issue of switching between two perspectives that makes it take longer, but also the fact of trying to cut out the parts that are unnecessary. And because we stream it, especially him, we don't have, because he can only stream it through, he streams his footage through the Twitch app on the Xbox. So while I suppose I could also record our audio through like Discord and just record our audio separately, which it would make things a little bit easier, but that would also require him to not be recording his audio with his video. Otherwise, there'd be overlap and there'd be interference, and it would really kind of fuck things over. So I'm limited on what I can do, but I put in as much work as I can to nullify that as much as possible. So, for example, if I switch between my perspective and his perspective, and he's just, unloading bullets into an enemy, and I'm standing there, like, scoped in but not shooting, then it's really off-putting to have both sets of audio playing simultaneously when it's not really happening. The problem is I can't avoid that if we're also speaking. So if he's speaking while unloading bullets on something and I'm not doing any of that, it's off-putting because there is all this gunfire happening that's not happening on what you're seeing. So it shouldn't be that loud, but I can't do anything else about it because it's coming directly from his stream footage and he is speaking, so I can't cut that audio out. So those are the kind of videos that take up so much more time, and that's why those are the kind of videos that unfortunately will miss a day here and there. But that's the thing, is a lot of times I don't have that issue with other footage. Even if I stream it, even if I have more footage to go through, because it's things that are simpler to edit and don't really have a lot of work that needs to be done to cut those videos up and make them viewable. So that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. And yeah, like I said, I want to get back to doing more streams. I just want to figure out what's the best times to try and see, this is why this video is too long. I just want to try and figure out when the best time is to stream certain content. That's where that is. You can go and let me know your opinions over on the post I make in the community tab. You can drop your comments here and suggestions for things as well, and I'll let you guys know the kinds of things that I want to be working on. So with that, we're going to go ahead and shut the fuck up, and we'll see you guys in the next video.